Well, boys, Elon Musk and I did try to tell you that there might be some temporary hardships, but hopefully they're coming to an end because if Bitcoin doesn't start making some higher lows here in April, well, then it might be time to sell in May and walk away. At the time of recording, Bitcoin is sitting here at about $83,500, and unfortunately, it has broken down back below this 200-day moving average. It still does have a chance here to put in a higher low, and like I was saying, I was expecting it to come back down and retest these lows and maybe put in a double bottom. And as long as we don't break down below this low from this month at about $76,000, then it does look like this bull market is still intact, but if it breaks below that, then it might get pretty dumpy pretty quickly, honestly. I'm not trying to scare you guys, and I still don't think that this bull market is over, but really it's getting close to that make or break time, and we need to start seeing some positive movements, or else things might start falling off a cliff here. We've had a bunch of really great catalysts, like the SEC dropping pretty much all of their lawsuits against crypto companies or projects, and we've been seeing a lot of really great people being added to Trump's team that are pro cryptocurrency as well. As I've said in the past, it's going to take some time for them to actually get some stuff done that's going to make America the crypto capital of the world and send us to the upside. And there's just been a lot of other things going on in the world which seems to have taken most of the attention away from the crypto space. But now that things are starting to kind of calm down a little bit, at least as far as the actions that Donald Trump is taking goes, maybe the attention is going to be shifting back towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and hopefully it can actually be the thing that we've been waiting for to send us back to the upside here. Most of this sell off that we've been seeing has basically just been in anticipation and because of the uncertainty around whether Donald Trump is actually going to implement those 25% tariffs on basically all countries. And April 2nd is just a couple of days away, so I think we're finally going to get that answer. And in my opinion, I think he's probably going to implement those tariffs unless we see some kind of a last second reversal or maybe some other countries around the world dropping their tariffs on the US. These tariffs are supposed to be reciprocal, and if other countries do start dropping those tariffs, well, then I guess we're going to have to drop ours as well. But we haven't really been seeing any kind of news like that coming out yet, and the only thing that's come of it so far is that Canada is just not accepting US currency, supposedly, and a bunch of Canadians have been boycotting US products and US companies like Walmart. And all of this stuff has been going viral, which is just leading to more uncertainty and more downward momentum. The last couple of times that Donald Trump has said that he's going to implement tariffs, though, we've seen pauses and stuff like that, and maybe it's going to happen again this time. But even if we don't see that, just the uncertainty being removed from the market might be enough for us to actually put in a floor here and send us back to the upside. According to this article on the Bitcoinist, over 30,000 Bitcoin has been withdrawn from exchanges in a week. Institutional accumulation is underway, it says. Usually, whenever 30,000 Bitcoin or really any Bitcoin are removed from exchanges, it means that they're not expecting to sell them anytime soon and they might just actually know something that we don't. It seems like a lot of people have been losing hope that this bull market is going to continue, and usually, whenever that happens, that's right around the time whenever we start to go back up again. The markets are basically designed to cause max pain, and with all of these institutions that have been recently entering Bitcoin, I think they're just getting better and better at it. But if you look at the historical returns for April, you can see that it is usually one of the most bullish months. And if history is going to rhyme like people say it does, then maybe we're going to be seeing some pretty good gains in April. But like I said, if we don't start making that floor here pretty soon, then we're definitely in danger of breaking down below this previous low. And that could send us back down for a significant decline, and if it does signal the end of the bear market, then I don't even know how low it can go because that'll basically signal that the 4 year cycles are broken. If the 4 year cycles are going to continue, though, then I think this bull market's going to continue up until probably around October. And in that situation, I think that hopefully we're still going to be reaching that $120,000 price target. But if it doesn't, then I think we're going to be seeing a lot of people say that this thing is going to go to zero because if the 4 year cycles are actually over, then this is going to be completely unprecedented, and we can't even look at previous price action to see what kind of levels we're going to be stopping at. In my opinion, though, wherever the bottom is, I don't think it's going to be zero. And I still think that Bitcoin is probably on the verge of reaching mainstream adoption and actually being adopted as a currency. But honestly, no one really knows what's going to happen, and that's why people still refer to Bitcoin as a risk asset. Larry Fink, though, the CEO of BlackRock, just said that Bitcoin is going to be the next reserve currency. And Larry Fink is basically the puppet master that pulls the strings of the biggest corporations in the world, as BlackRock is one of the biggest owners of all of the biggest companies in the world. He has some really big pull, and just him saying this is going to have a lot of people believing that it might be true, and they're going to probably be taking steps in order to survive in a world where Bitcoin is the reserve currency. According to X, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink has expressed concerns about the US dollar's status as the world reserve currency in his annual letter to investors, and Fink warned that if the US does not manage its debt effectively, then the dollar could lose its position to digital assets like Bitcoin, and this statement reflects the ongoing discussions about stability and the future of the US dollar amidst rising national debt levels. Honestly, I don't want to, but I do agree with Larry Fink in this situation because I don't think that the US is going to get our debt situation under control. And with them having the button to the money printer, there's just no way that they're going to be able to avoid punching that button. And even if Donald Trump can actually get their budget down and they can stop spending money, I know that the next president is probably going to continue. And in that situation, eventually Bitcoin is going to go to the moon. But for now, like Elon Musk and so many other people have said, we still might have some short term pain ahead of us. And if Bitcoin does start breaking down below this low from last month at just around $76,000, then it might be a really great opportunity to get some dry powder stacked up so that you can start buying here whenever we do finally reach a floor. I know I sound really bearish and it's kind of hard not to, but honestly, I still don't believe that the bull market is over. And hopefully, this is going to be the floor with us putting in that double bottom. And maybe we're going to start heading up here in the next week or two. As they say, it usually gets dumpiest before it gets pumpiest. And right now, it's boring, maybe before the roaring. And in my opinion, just us coming down here to turn this previous level of resistance into support is still just a healthy correction. But if we start breaking down below these levels, then it's going to turn back into resistance, and that'll make it much harder for us to break back above it and actually continue to the upside. But for right now, we still have mostly support underneath us and not very much resistance above. Plus, like I said, if the 4 year cycle is still intact, then we're probably going to continue until October. And if this thing is going to head back to the upside, then you don't want to be stuck chasing candles. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are we going to break down below the low of last month about at $76,000? Or are we just turning it into support before we start ripping again? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But most importantly, don't forget to do only good every day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.